Mm-hmm. Okay. How about you? Shabbat Shalom. Let's go. Page 13.
Yismachu Hashamayim, Yismachu Hashamayim, Yismachu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz. Yismachu Hashamayim, Yismachu Hashamayim, Yismachu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz. Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam umalo. 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 Yismachu Hashamayim, Yismachu Hashamayim, Yismachu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz.
Shabbat Shalom. It is a pleasure to be back here for Pride Shabbat, even if it does feel a little out of season. What? Oh, yes, it is the double blessing of 2 months of Pride. Got it. Okay.
2 months brought in the diaspora, 1 month.
Oh, 2 months in the diaspora. I would, in honor of our Pride Shabbat, I would like to invite up all those who are part of our Keshet Q Chavurah to come join us for the lighting of the Shabbat candles.
A fountain of blessings are you, God who has touched me in the person of my sister, my brother, my transgender kin, each of us reaching towards you. We touch each other in kindness, with compassion for growth. Everyone is different, but each shares sparks of your holiness. And when we meet, we kindle a gentle, warming fire.
On page 2.
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kirshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik neh shel Shabbat.
We continue with Or Zarua, page 14. It is the last paragraph on the page.
Or Zarua, Lav Tzadik, V'yishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua, Lav Tzadik, V'yishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua, Lav Tzadik, V'yishrei Lev Simcha. V'yishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua, Lav Tzadik, V'yishrei Lev Simcha. V'yishrei Lev Simcha. Kol Yisrael Lev Simcha, Kol Yisrael Lev Simcha. O Zarua Latzadik, Kol Yisrael Lev Simcha, Kol Yisrael Lev Simcha.
We greet Shabbat as a bride at pages 20 and 21. We'll sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And on the 9th verse, rise and face the entrance to greet the Sabbath bride.
L'kadodi l'kadka, Erev Shabbat Kabbalah, l'kadodi l'kadka, Erev Shabbat Kabbalah, l'kadodi l'kadka, Erev Shabbat Kabbalah. L'kadodi l'krat kala, B'nei Shabbat Kabbalah. Shamo v'zachko b'dibor echad, Ishvianu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shamo echad, L'Shem ol tiferet v'litilah. L'kadodi l'krat kala, B'nei Shabbat Kabbalah. L'kadodi l'krat kala, B'nei Shabbat Kabbalah. L'krat Shabbat l'kovnei l'kva, Kim kol habracha, Me'rosh mikedem nesocha, Sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tchila. L'kadodi l'krat kala, B'nei Shabbat Kabbalah, Lakadudi Lekrat Kala, Erev Shabbat Kabbalah, Itorari, Kiva Ore, Komi Ori, Ori, Shita Beiri, Kavod Ananaya Layef Nekla, Lakadodi Lekrat Kala, Erev Shabbat Kabbalah, Lakadodi Lekrat Kala, Erev Shabbat Kabbalah, Ohi v'shalom ateret bala, Gam b'simcha u'v'tzola, Tokemune am segola, Boi chala, Lakadodi Lekrat Kala, Erev Shabbat Kabbalah, Lakadodi Lekrat Kala, Erev Shabbat Kabbalah.
You may be seated. We continue on page 26 with Chatzi Kaddish.
Yet Gadav, Yet Kadash, Shemei Rabba.
Amen.
Yamadi Prakti Kutevi Amlich Maot Kute, Bakaye Kon Yom Echon, Kaye Kol Bet Yisrael. Bagala, Ubizman Kari, Vimaro, Amen. Yesh Me Rabba Mavara, Lalme Amaya. Yitbarak, V'yishtabak, V'yitbav, V'yiraman, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitalev, V'yitalash, Shmit Kudasha, Brichu, Leila Min Kol B'chata V'shirata, Tosh V'kata V'nechemata, Damiram B'hama, V'yimaru, Amen.
Please rise and bow to your spirit for Baruch, page 28.
What page is it?
It is on the, you're reading it, the reading is on the handout, the order of worship.
So the back side of the rainbow. So as the sun sinks and the colors of the day turn, we offer a blessing for the twilight. For twilight is neither day nor night, but in between. We are all twilight people. We can never be fully labeled or defined. We are many identities and loves, many genders and none. May the sacred in-between of this evening suspend our certainties, soften our judgments, and widen our vision. May this in-between light illuminate our way to the God who transcends all categories and definitions. May the in-between people who have come to pray be lifted up into this twilight. We cannot always define, we can always say a blessing. Blessed are you, God of all, who brings on the twilight. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim.
We continue on page 32 in our prayer books. Please be seated, page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם בניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אלוהיכם אמת.
Nourish beginnings. Let us nourish beginnings. Not all things are blessed, but the seeds of all things are blessed. The blessing is in the seed. This moment, this seed, this wave of the sea, this look, this instant of love. Years over wars and an imagining of peace, or the expiation journey toward peace, which is many wishes flaming together, fierce, pure love, life, the many living home. Love that gives us ourselves, in the world known to all, new techniques for the healing of the wound and the unknown world. One life, or the faring stars.
We continue with Micha Mocha, page 40.
Chazak mimenu, Baruch ata Adonai, Ka Yisrael.
Page 43, we join together at the top of the page. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will.
Baruch atah Adonai haborei sukkah shalom. Shalom aleinu v'kol amo Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai haborei sukkah shalom. Shalom aleinu v'kol amo Yisrael.
Page 44.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו Beni Yuvein B'nai Yisrael, Oti Le'olam, Oti Le'olam. V'shamgo B'nai Yisrael et HaShabbat, Lasot et HaShabbat, L'dorotam B'ritolam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz v'shamro b'nei Yisrael et hashabat lasot et hashabat l'dorotam b'ritolam. Vayom hashvi Shabbat v'inafash, Shabbat v'inafash, Shabbat v'inafash. V'shamro b'nei Yisrael et hashabat, lasot et hashabat l'dorotam b'ritolam.
As we turn to the Amidah on page 46, I just want you to keep in mind that some melodies are changing. You've noticed already that some of the melodies, even familiar ones, are just done a little bit differently. So with a new cantorial soloist, we are going to have melodies, including those of the Amidah, done a little bit differently. Follow along, please. And I'm going to repeat that. Follow along, please. Please rise and bow to your spirit for the Amidah.
Baruch Adonai Sevatai Tivtach Ufiya Gita Hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, at my mouth I declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Dokonei HaKol, V'zocher Kasei Avot v'Imachot, Umei Bigula Libnei B'neihem, Laman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Hazel, Moshiach U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol atah Rav LaHoshia. Mekayeh HaTal, Mekabkel Chaim B'Chesed, Mekayeh HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim. Somek noflim v'rofek olim, umatir hasorim, umekayem emunato, lishenei afar, mikamocha b'gavorot, umito melach, melech memit umekayem, U'matzmeach Yeshua, Ne'eman Natal HaChayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol. Atah Kadosh v'Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kadoshim b'chol yom Yehalalucha Selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
We continue with our private prayers. When you've finished with your prayers, you may be seated.
We continue on page 60 with Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki ata melech Adon, L'kol HaShalom. Ki ata melech Adon, L'kol HaShalom. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael, b'kol עת ובכל שעה, בשלומך. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
We take time during each of our services to think of those who are in need of healing of mind or body or spirit. If there's someone that you're thinking of, I invite you to share their names with us at this time.
Sarah Radcliffe.
Words of Mishaberach can be found on page 253.
May the source of strength
we take a few moments to share joys and blessings from the past week. You're so excited.
Oh, this was great. She's so blessed. I am blessed. I'm very blessed. I acknowledge that. So it's the summer months, and I typically put out water in the front area of my house for the animals. And today I was blessed with my dog barking and barking. So I went thinking it was the postal person. No, it was a mother raccoon and her 4 babies that were the size of like grapefruits. It was so cute. Somebody driving down the street pulled into my driveway to video it. So it was that good.
The rainbow magic is revived, and my friend helped me re-dye my hair today. But also, I am this close to being done with training and like on my own taking 988 calls, and I'm just so ready to be done, but like so grateful that I get to do this job.
Well, I've been having a lot of problems with bilateral carpal tunnel syndrome, which came on very rapidly, which explains why I was having trouble gripping my staff and walking. But I was very grateful that I was able to get an intake appointment with a surgeon on last Tuesday, and next Tuesday I'm having my first surgical date. It's incredibly fast, and I'm very, very grateful for it.
I got dumped a couple weeks ago, and I feel so much better now than I did earlier.
I have a working AC. Yeah, no, I'm very happy about that.
I moved here a month ago, and my sister by choice, Emma, just visited. She left a couple days ago, so that was really wonderful going out with her. We went to Mount Rainier. I'm joking that my sexuality is being in love with the mountain, so which I think means I'm supposed to be here.
We didn't have a booth for Pride this year. And then Centers for Spiritual Living Tacoma has decided to scoot over a little bit and give us half their booth for TBE, so I'm very grateful for that. Yeah.
Which also means that we now need people to staff our booth, or half a booth. So if you are available, we already have a few volunteers, but we need more. Please, thank you.
I got an unusual email today from a distant relative from Chile who I've never met. And he's in the area, and he's here with his family. He wants to get together. The power of the story is that he's descended from one of my grandfather's brothers. And my grandfather emigrated from Eastern Europe here to the US, but his 2 brothers ended up emigrating from Eastern Europe to South America. And they never saw each other again. And I've never met this family. And it's kind of a bit of a powerful reunion for me, even though I think we'll probably never see each other again.
Our youngest daughter, Carrie, and her family started their move today back to the Seattle area from Northern California.
You've been looking forward to that for a while.
So I have a really debilitating medical condition called POTS, and most of the time I'm in my room. A couple days a week, maybe I'll get to a different part of the house. Maybe on a really good week, I'll get out of the house once a week. Yesterday, I went to a concert with a friend, and today I'm here. So that's twice this week. So slam it.
So we have a kitten, and he likes to wake me up sometimes, and he woke me up at like 6 in the morning, and he's like really loud. So he woke me up at 6 in the morning just to like tell me he's bored. And I don't know, it's always a pleasant awakening. So yeah.
I just feel really lucky that our garden is finally producing raspberries again and grapes, which has really been a long time coming.
I just went back home and reconnected with like a lot of friends and random cousins I haven't seen in a while. And like a month ago, my buddy found TV on the side of the road, and it worked, and he gave it to me, so I got TV now.
Well, I agree with Marlene. I'm excited to say I have green tomatoes coming in. I love fried green tomatoes.
Do you let them get ripe? No, you just eat them all before they get ripe? I understand that, but do you let any of them get ripe? On the third page of your handout is a blessing of gratitude, which goes with all of the blessings of gratitude that we've just shared. We'll join together. Shekhinah, whose name is love, God who created us in your image, we thank you today for the pride and strength you have given us to live our lives, each of us in our own way, as equal members of our community and of society. We honor the memory of pioneers who challenged, received wisdom, and demanded their right to renew the old and sanctify the new. Whether gay, lesbian, or bisexual, transgender, non-binary, or genderqueer, these ancestors of our community, tired of labels and diagnoses, they brought upon us, like the blessing of their rainbow, countless ways to understand and realize your counsel. It is not good for a human to be alone. As we sought to live our life faithful to the nature you implanted in us, those who profane your name, claiming that they hate in your name of God, rose up to humiliate and criminalize us, to brutalize us and erase us. In your great mercy, you stood with us in our time of trouble and gave us the courage to stand together, to open our eyes and the eyes of the world around us, to see that all your creations deserve the freedom and the right to love. Today, too, strengthen us that we might witness and create wonders, be who we are and love whom we love, not in the shade, but in the light of life, that we might live as Jews in the embrace of community, sanctifying our unions and celebrating before each other and before you. The stone that the builders rejected has become a cornerstone. May we never know shame again. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'el hodot. Our Torah portion, I'm going to try to do this relatively quickly because this has been a long service. Our Torah portion this week is Hukat, which has a number of different pieces to it. The one that most people think about is the story of Moses hitting the rock, right? It starts off with a very weird section about the red heifer and some of the rules of purification, including the fact that the person who creates the purification, the tool of purification, becomes themselves impure. And then Miriam and Aaron die. Yes. And then we get the hitting of the rock story, right? Because Miriam's not there. And the people then complain about being thirsty. They don't have any water. What? They are so whiny in the book of Numbers. Come on. I've mentioned this before. The numbers of complaints. We are in the book of Numbers, the numbers of complaints. Kvetching is an ancient Jewish tradition. It is deep in our DNA. It didn't always work so well for us, though, but there's actually also, if all of that wasn't strange enough, there's also this really weird tiny section in there about snakes that start biting people. And in order to cure the snake bites, Moses has to build some sort of snake staff. I always imagine it to be like Jafar's staff in Aladdin, where they look into the spinny eyes, but instead of being hypnotized, they become healed from the snake bite. But if you look in the Lego Bible, it's called the Brick Testament. The Lego image that they have is of a gigantic, 50 feet tall cobra. So, there's a lot of variety of what you might imagine this snake thing to be. Although, anyone know what the American Medical Association's symbol is, the healing symbol? Right? Okay, but there's this sort of pattern of snakes being also a symbol of healing.
You have to have their venom in order to create an antivenom.
Right, which is exactly how, right, you take the thing that causes harm and make something that heals, just as the person who made something pure becomes themselves impure, right? There's, in both situations, you have the opposite, one thing leading to its opposite and causing it, right? What was the wound? It's not quite the Yetzer Hara and the Yetzer HaTov, because that one, the Yetzer Hara does not create the Yetzer HaTov, and the Yetzer HaTov does not lead to the Yetzer Hara. We're going to leave that aside. Okay, what I wanted to talk about, though, was the snakes are this thing that seems and can be so terrifying. When I was at camp, under the low ropes course, there was clearly a nest of snakes. Just seeing some of your faces when I said that tells me that there are other people who feel just as skeeved out by having a nest of snakes under the low ropes course while the kids are trying to get across it. They're garter snakes. They were like this big. They were so cute. They were so sweet, and after a few days, they realized that there were just going to be a lot of kids there, and they were all going to chase the snakes, because if they're not going to bite you, then you can pick them up, obviously, in kid brain. So the snakes moved into the meadow that was just a few feet away. But it's this, right, the difference in reactions here is part of what I wanted to pull out, that snakes can sometimes be this very scary thing, in part because we know that there can be harm, in part because they just seem weird. They're not slimy.
They don't have feet.
That's true that.
Really fast and no feet. And they have serious teeth.
Some of them. Right, garter snakes are so cute. Okay, okay, so just a little bit of context here. My 7th grade science teacher, Mr. Ronsky, had a lot of snakes. He had 3 snakes in the classroom, and he would let us take them out and just hold them and play with them, and he would do lunchtime feedings so we could have lunch with the snakes. So it was actually a really great educational environment, because even if you were afraid of snakes, you had to get used to snakes, and now I don't mind snakes, and will gladly pick up little baby garter snakes. The snakes seem really scary or weird or uncomfortable. They make us feel like something is wrong, until we get to understand either what role they play in the environment, or we get to understand that they're actually not so scary or weird after all, unless they are venomous, and then you have to be careful. By the way, venomous snakes will kill you if you bite them. Poisonous snakes, which I don't really think are a thing, are poisonous if you eat them, will kill you if you eat them. Just to be...
Venomous snakes will kill you if they bite you.
Right, that's what I just wanted to make sure that that's clear, that I'm not talking about poisonous snakes, I'm talking about venomous snakes. Those are actually scary because they can in fact hurt you, although they're still going to be more scared of you unless you go attack them. Sure. And I have seen that with the queer community as well, where it seems to be something that, right, it's queer in the sense of strange, unusual, out of the realm of our comfort, until we realize that actually everyone just wants to live a life of joy and partnership, with love and family, and no one's biting. No one's biting. And so we see with the snakes that they can also bring healing, right? The snake staff brings that sort of healing, and when we welcome our queer community into the Jewish community, we actually get a sense of blessing and joy and healing because of everyone's presence here. So that was what was supposed to be a short drash that ended up being 10 minutes anyway. I'd like to... Snakes are awesome. I'd like to invite Nathan Schumer to share some announcements. No, you can have this one.
Just this, okay. All right, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I do have a trivia question before we start, which is that the bronze snake shows up one more time in the Bible. Does anyone know where? What? In Deuteronomy. It's not that. Perhaps too obscure. It shows up when it's destroyed by King Hezekiah. So it's the, is that right? Yeah, that's right. Is it? Oh no, am I wrong? What? Yeah, Hezekiah. Yeah, he like destroys all of the statues, and the bronze snake also is destroyed as well. I don't know how that works. That's problematic for the metaphor. But okay, so announcements. Okay, so on Sunday, July 28th, there's a special meeting of the congregation. It's very important. We need a quorum, so we need as many people that can attend as possible. You can attend over Zoom. You can also ask for absentee ballots, and the topic, I should have led with this, is Rabbi Dorban's contract renewal. It's also in person. Yes. Sunday afternoon, I don't know if there's childcare. On Saturday, July 20th, the bar mitzvah of Gabriel Soltz. It's on July 20th. It is Saturday at 10, normal services. And then Sunday, August 11th, is the Home of Peace Geniza opening, an annual cemetery cleanup. The Home of Peace Cemetery Association invites the community to participate in our annual cleanup day. Come for an hour to perform the mitzvah of washing headstones. Rabbi Dorban will also lead a brief ceremony to discuss the ancient tradition of burying damaged or old sacred books in a geniza. And then we will bury prayer books from Temple Beth and Beit Haverim in Des Moines. The Temple Fundraising Committee could use some members. So they have Zoom meetings on Wednesdays at 7:30 to get ready for the November 9th Temple Beth fundraiser. Fundraising is helpful. It would give you more money. And then we are looking for volunteers for front desk coverage. So if you have a few hours or half a day, Tuesday to Friday between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., please lend a hand and get in touch with Olivia. You can see it, and you can see her email in here. And then finally, the Judaica shop. The Temple Bethel Sisterhood is looking for volunteers to work in the Judaica shop. And please contact Trish Ross, which is in there. The shop will be closed all of August, so this, I just have a week or two, and then it will reopen in September. So those are the announcements. I think you have to be a member to vote, yeah, and to go. Yeah. But you can join.
And we are also looking for volunteers for a number of other things. If you are able to help, especially on Saturday mornings with tech, very much appreciate that. And volunteers to help with the ONEG. Vivian Morrison has been our incredible ONEG setup volunteer for basically an entire year, and it should not fall only on one person. And Vivian was not available today, which meant that it all fell on me and Olivia. So if you think that that's not how you want your rabbi to spend their time, then I would encourage you to help by volunteering once a week, not once a week, but like once a quarter or something like that. If we can get a number of people to volunteer, it won't be much of a burden on anybody. And people will appreciate it. Where do you sign up? Contact Olivia or contact you? Contact info@tbetacoma.org. Okay. We are going to, and by the way, again, just to reiterate, if you would like to volunteer tomorrow for staffing our half a booth at Pride, please talk to me after the service. Or if you got the email, check your email. We are going to return to our service, conclude our service on page 282 with Aleinu. Please rise and body your spirit.
Shabeach Ladon Hakol, Vatei Gedula Yotzeh Breshit, Shelo Asanu Kukoye Haratzot, Allah Samanu Kamishpachot Adama, Shelo Sam Chalkeinu Kahem, Vagor Aleinu Kachol Hamonam. Anavnu Korei Baruch Hu.
287.
V'nema v'hai Adonai l'melech al haaretz hayom hahu yehyeh Adonai echad o shamo
Please be seated. We think of those who died in the fight for LGBTQ rights, and we think of those that have died in recent days and weeks in our own community, especially Musia Strupinskaya, Margaret Eskenazi, the sister of Yvette Schreier, and Alan David Gold, the father of Benjamin Gold. We also think of those whose yard sites occur in the coming week. If I say the name of someone you are remembering, I invite you to rise so we can acknowledge you as a mourner. We think of Alice Carrick Bender, Francis Etzikson, Marvin Flax, Harry Friedman, Rosa Goldgubber, J. Allen Grenley, Emmett Harley, Barbara Kleiner, Leslie Landau, Lillian Leifson, Emmy Johanna Mayer, Joseph McCloy, Pasha K. Utkin, Wigberto Osma, Eva Peltoma Russ, Charles Platt, Edward Pollack, Byron Rosen, Janet Seidman, Saul H. Sauce, and Miriam Spiegel. As we think of them, we say Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be a blessing, and we rise to join our mourners so that no mourner has to stand alone as we offer the words of the Mourner's Kaddish, page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach irtei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'gala uv'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudashah brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom nimramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the one who creates peace on high bring peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved, as together we say, amen. You may be seated. Our concluding song is Not by Might, which can be found on page 300 where did it go? Oh, it's in Hanukkah. That's what they did with it. Page 365, in the middle of the page. Kiddush is on page 5. Would you like the hard stuff or the...
Can I just say I'm driving home, so I'll just stick to the Jews? Is that a good line?
Great.
Okay.
And Ida, would you like to come up? Since you're the only little one remaining, and by little one I mean under 13. Page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, morei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'rakta banu, v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava u'ratzon yinkilanu. Zikaron l'maseh v'reishit, kivu yom tepilah l'mikra'ei kodesh, zecher l'tziat mitzrayim, kivanu v'karta, yotanu hidashta, mikol Shabbat kodecha be'ahava u'ratzon nimchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Fine.
It feels like an older vintage of grape juice.
Last week? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avo.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
And happy bride.